I want to turn to another issue. Senator, you sit on the Agriculture Committee, and the President's Agriculture Secretary, Sonny Perdue, said today that farmers are, quote, one of the casualties of the trade wars. Do you think the U.S. government has done enough to provide relief to American farmers? And also, you just said a moment ago how important this issue of fiscal conservatism is for you. How long can the American taxpayer essentially sustain this policy?
Well, of course, the Chinese did the retaliatory tariffs on farmers because they are probably the most loyal of any of the Trump supporters. Chinese are smart. They knew our farm economy was struggling. And when you look at the spring we've had, with the weather being about as bad as it could be for planting, literally when it rains, it pours. And farmers are at the point, but even when we get through tariffs, I still think the farm economy is going to have challenges that are related to things like, really large corporations that sell farmers most of their inputs that have doubled or tripled. I know I'm still involved in farming, both in growing trees and row crops. And the inputs to put out an acre of soybeans and corn have doubled and in some cases tripled over the last 10 to 12 years. And prices have been basically only up a little. So it seems like farmers feel the brunt of it. You got issues like acreage coming on stream in other countries. So we got to create more markets. We're going to need to stay strong against China because I think they're a rogue nation when it comes to how they behave in the economic marketplace. And I really think the president has been right to take them on now. In 5-10 years, our negotiating position will be a lot weaker because there'll be an even larger economy, and you can see they don't play by the rules. They steal intellectual property, force technology transfers, tariffs, they subsidize industries, dump the glut on the market. They behave unlike anyone else. It's a major player on the world scene, and now's the time to hold firm against them.
So let me turn to another issue. President Trump is going to be actually meeting with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping Friday at the G20 summit. What do you think should be prioritized in a trade deal if the two sides are actually able to come back to the negotiating table?
For them to change their behavior and quit doing those things that they've done. They backpedaled here a month or so ago because it was getting too close to inking the deal. And I really think they may be calculating of just playing the delay game until November of 2020. I'm sure the president and his team is on to that, but you got to remember, they've liberalized their economy. They haven't their political system, and the Politburo is still running the economy over there. So I say be careful. And for anybody impacted by tariffs from China, especially folks that have moved their supply chain there and are interested in that big market that comes along with maybe putting resources there, be careful. I think it's a good time to kind of relook how many eggs you're putting in the Chinese basket. I know in my own case, I was wary of it 12 to 15 years ago when it started to be an issue in our own industry.